Hey guys, it's Hunter. Welcome back to another video. Look at this. All right, this is going to be a fun one. What's going on here? So Vola is a brand that I've worked with quite a bit from even the early days of the channel. It was always fun making a Vola video because the quality was consistently excellent. The guitars looked cool, felt great to play. They were awesome guitars with price tags that reflected the high-end specs and just the insane quality that comes with made in Japan guitars. But recently, they've gone to fully direct sales, so while guitar prices are rising basically everywhere else, Vola have actually managed to drop their prices by a lot. This Aries is about half the price now as it was when I demoed it years ago. Today though, we're going slightly more old school, kind of, with this Oz 7T. Alder body, one-piece satin maple neck, maple fingerboard, 24 medium jumbo frets. It took a little getting used to, I'm not gonna lie, but I also appreciate how even though it's obviously very Strat inspired, they've still added their own personality to the shape. It's not just yet another direct Strat body copy. Then it's all rounded out with a Graphtec nut, Goto locking tuners, and a Goto 2-point trem. Goto stuff is so solid, man, I love it. Comes in a gig bag, and I know it's not a hard case, but it's actually a really solid one. Lightweight, semi-rigid. I know someone's gonna make a joke about that because y'all are about 12, so go ahead. Nice thick padding, 25.5-inch scale length. So basically, it's like an old school hot rodded Strat, except for, you know, the extra string. So all that, plus the insanely good Japanese build quality for $10.49. A couple hundred less than what I paid for my Made in Mexico Tom DeLonge Strat. Not bad. So thanks to Vola for sending this over for us to check out together and for sponsoring the video. And I've convinced them to give you guys an additional 5% off. So if these look interesting to you, that special link will be in the description. So the guitar looks great in person and on paper, but specs and country of origin are one thing. I found one of the best ways to really test a guitar is to write something with it. See what kind of riffs it inspires. I'm actually really curious how this is going to turn out because this is a 7-string, but it's also like a dad rock Strat. So this should be interesting. Let's get some tones, let's get some first impressions, and write a demo track. Dad rock and drop A, let's go. Currently running this through the Rev Generator Mark III using a Kick-Ass Audio Custom IR for no other reason than I really like that amp and it seems to work really well with the extended range. That being said, this is not your normal 7-string guitar. Compared to a lot of other 7-strings, it's got a much more old school vibe. So I'm gonna try to write something in kind of the same vein. Kinda, sorta dad rock inspired, but in drop A. And we'll see how that turns out. It's also got a direct out switch, so I'm going to engage that for all the rhythms. And what it does, it literally bypasses all the rest of the controls. So it's just straight from the pickups to the output jack, meaning you're getting the cleanest signal from your hands into the amplifier. Love that. So here it is without it engaged. And here it is with engaged. Ooh, so you hear it, even with a tone on 10, direct out gives you a crisper, brighter tone. It's subtle, but I like to record my guitars brighter. That helps them stand out in a mix. I've noticed in older forms of metal, instead of using the standard power chord, they kind of use 2-string groupings, like 2 strings, 1 fret. Like that. Something like that, maybe? Oh, maybe we can do something more deliberate with those natural harmonics, though. Yeah. Something like that. With practice, I'm sure it'll sound sick. That's hard, man. Natural harmonics are such a mind f***. Going up the fingerboard makes them lower. Yeah. Okay, so far so good. Why does this always happen with 7 and 8 strings? You're just doing your thing, and then you just come up with this really cool down-tuned caveman riff. It's not like you can't use it, because it sounds too cool. So I guess we're throwing a breakdown in the middle of this thing now. That means we need a lead up to the breakdown, though. So I guess a really atmospheric, clean section, then? I mean, it is a demo, so we need to throw in a clean section anyways. Yeah, so that's the cool thing about this guitar and this configuration, man. You get those Strat type tones in a bright shell pink 7-string. This is so dope, man. I'm not really a clean player, but even for me, for ambient stuff, that's awesome. As for this clean section, we need something that builds tension. Nope. A little bit of dissonance to lead up into the breakdown. That'll work. Is that the clean section done? Can we get back to the fun stuff now? And then I'm thinking, I mean, there's so many frets here. Let's actually use the extended range. Tapping section, maybe? Not gonna lie to you, this is pretty hard to get clean. I'm also noticing a fair amount of pitch shift with the low A if you hit it hard. Right? In general, I like the feel of a 25.5-inch scale length. Like, it feels more like a regular guitar. But the reason I've mostly gone to 26.5 inches now for 7 strings is because you get less of that pitch shift. The intonation tends to be a little bit easier. But again, it goes back to this having a more traditional vibe than your standard extended range guitar. Dude, I mean, immediately when you pick it up, this guitar is so nice, man. The neck feels so good. I mean, it feels like a standard Strat neck that's just been elongated this way. And this bridge too, man, for palm mutes, like the saddles are nice and rounded. The last made in Mexico Fender guitar I bought was literally more expensive than this. Yeah, I don't know if this is dad rock anymore besides that first riff. Whatever, we'll stick some ambient leads over it. It'll be fine. But I think that's enough ideas now. I'm gonna go ahead and work on the demo track off camera. And I'll meet you back here for my final thoughts on this Vola Oz 7T. But first, here's how the demo track consisting of the first riffs inspired by this guitar turned out. Yeah, so Vola's a very easy recommendation. The prices were fair before for how good they were. That was just ridiculous. Like, if you told me this guitar was $2,000 at this quality level, I'd believe you. The only thing I have with this 7-string is, personally, I would want that 26.5-inch scale length for extra intonation and pitch stability. Again, though, that's a personal preference thing. I've played so many Schecter 7-strings, it's what I'm used to now, but as long as your setup is good, you shouldn't have an issue. When recording the demo track, I was able to punish both this and the Quentin Godet signature with the same scale length. Didn't run into any major problems. They were very reliable tracking guitars. Speaking of the Quentin Godet signature, it's $150 more, but it does have a roasted maple neck and stainless steel frets. So it's a more modern counterpart to this quote-unquote traditional 7-string. But the point is, it's in the same vein as this Oz 7T, a 7-string HSS Strat, which is such a simple yet somehow underrepresented concept. It's so good though. I always love a solid blend of vintage and modern. You've got the insane versatility of a Strat plus the extra range and chug potential that a 7th string brings to the table, right? Like you can be throwing down some beefy ass riffs with the humbucker. And then immediately switch over to some dreamy cleans with the single coils. Besides Vola, the only other 7-string HSS production model I can think of is the Ibanez AZ something or another Prestige. And that's about double the price, and it's not shell pink. So yeah, a big fan of this. It's not your normal flavor of 7-string, and the price for the quality is just outrageous. But I think you get the idea, so that'll be it for me. Here's where I'll throw it to you. What do you think of the Vola Oz 7T or Vola guitars in general? They have a wide range of guitars in the lineup, lefties too. Again, if you feel like checking them out, my link will be below. You get an additional 5% off if you decide to pick up anything. And shout out to my amazing patrons. Their names are up on the screen right now. Consider joining them if you like what I do and want to get bonus extras. Limited edition holiday merch is live. Use code Mariah for 15% off everything in the store. All that really helps out the channel. Social media, Discord, and affiliate links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. You've been awesome, and I will see you for the next video.